Namaste, hello everyone. Today 30 minutes of yoga. We're going to do some poses including back bends. Let's start on the floor, and if you have a block, let's prepare a block with you. If you don't have a yoga block, you can find some other things that can support you in balancing poses like warrior 3 and half moon, like a bottle or a box or something like that. So let's start on the floor with your hands and your knees on the ground in the table pose. Put your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. Let's warm up through cat and cow. So inhale, cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. Do this for a few more rounds. You can do it as slowly or as fast as your breath. But try to make the shape very big and move like waves in your spine. Move not only the big part of your spine, but also the tiny parts at the end of your spine, like your neck and your tailbone. And eventually we're going to stay still in the cow pose with your belly down and your chest forward in a back bend. Now let's bring your right leg up as you inhale, bending your knees and pointing your toes toward your head, raising your chest up as if you want to touch your head to your toes too. And lift your left hand up and send it back, holding your hand into your foot, kicking your leg up high. Inhale here and exhale, squeezing your belly in. It's a big back bend here. Try to make your legs extremely strong. Just kicking your arm up and away. Then slowly release your hand as you step your right foot forward toward your right hand position. Let's bring your back knee away and away so that your hips come closer toward the floor. You can grab the block with you as you come up into Anjali Asana, low lunge stretch. Now let's bring your arms up to over your head as you inhale. You can tuck your toes down to the floor so that it's more balanced for you. And reaching your hands back as you raise your chest up into a big stretch into the front of your body. Take a deep inhale and exhale, squeezing your belly in. One more time, inhale and exhale. Let's bring your hands down to the floor. You can move the block out of your way. And now let's step your right foot back and step it down to the floor on the same line with your left hand and left knee. You can fix your body position so that your hand will be somewhere right underneath your shoulders. Your hand, knee and foot will be on the same line. And then let's move your left knee so that your left foot will be behind you into a side plank position. Now check in with your body and make sure that your hips is on the same surface as the rest of your body. Don't sink your hip down like this. And then let's bring your right leg up, bending the knee and bringing your right hand back so you can catch into your ankle and kicking your leg away and away from you. So it's a big back bend here, pushing your chest and your hip forward as you're kicking your foot back. Then slowly get out of this. Bring your hands back down to the floor, stepping your feet into the plank pose position, knees down, and then everything else go down to the ground. Cobra pose as you inhale. Try to move your chest very much forward as you move your shoulders very much backward. Tuck your toes, be rounded, pushing your hips up to the sky into downward facing dog. Let's walk your heels on and off the floor now in down dog, moving your hip from side to side. And then inhale, go to plank pose again. Exhale, knees down into table pose. Fix your position so that now you're in the table pose with your hands right underneath your shoulders again. Inhale into cow pose. And now bringing your left leg up, pointing your toes toward your head. Let's check your balance and bring your right hand up and holding your right hand into your right ankle. Kicking your leg up really high here too. Raising your chest up all the time. It's a big back bend here. Try to make your legs so strong that it's kicking your arm away from your torso. After the next breath, slowly release your hand and stepping your left foot forward Make your legs go away from each other so that you start feeling the stretch into your hips. Raise yourself up into the low lunge stretch, Anjali Asana. Make your hips face the front. You can tuck your back toes so it's more stable for you, and then reach your hands behind you as if you want to catch something behind you. Lifting your chest up as you inhale, and exhale, sinking your hips down toward the ground. After the next breath, let's slowly bring your hands back down to the floor. Move your hips back, no more stretch. And then step your left foot down to the same line as your right side. Now check in with your body and make sure your hand is somewhere right underneath your shoulders, so not too far away. And then let's turn your right leg position so that your foot will be behind you. Side plank pose. This is an easy variation of side plank with your knee supporting you on the floor. Let's lift your left leg from the ground, bending the knee and holding into your ankle. Kicking your leg away from you, moving your hips and your chest forward. So it's a big back bend here, and feel like you want to hide your left arm behind you. Slowly get out of the pose, hand down to the floor, and go to the plank pose again. As you inhale and exhale, knees down and everything go down toward the floor. Cobra pose as you inhale. Tuck your toes and push all the way up with your hips into downward facing dog. Walking your heels on and off the floor, moving your hips from side to side. And then let's step your feet forward toward your hands position into forward bend. Inhale, lifting your chest up, and exhale, forward bend. You can bend your knees here slightly, but relax your head and relax your shoulders. Make your head heavy and make your neck long. You can hold into your elbows and move gently from side to side. Then let's sit down slightly, slowly come up into a standing pose, giving your body a big stretch, bringing your arms over your head. And then hands down toward the side of your body, close your eyes and stay here for the next few breaths. Now let's slowly open your eyes. We're going to prepare the block somewhere around the front of your mat so that we can use it now. And then let's do dancer pose. So we stand with your left leg and bring your right leg up, holding your hand into your ankle, and make sure that your hip will not be open to the side. So don't make your pose become like this, but only bring your leg back. If you have a trouble with balance, I suggest you touch your fingertips into a whirl to keep balance, like this. Anyway, look into your standing leg and make sure that your foot is pointing straight forward and your knee is not being collapsed in. So always turning your thigh bone slightly out, and I highly recommend micro bending into your knee, which means bending like almost not bending at all. So dancer pose here. Let's hide your right arm behind you. Oops. Okay, I'm here now. Look into some point that is not moving. Use it as a focus point, and then make your leg kicking back so strongly that you feel like your leg is pulling your arm away from your torso, stretching very big into the chest. Popping your heart forward, but every time you exhale, squeezing the belly in. And then after the next exhale, release your hand, stepping your foot along, step back into high lunge pose. Look into the front leg here, and make sure that the foot is pointing straight forward and your thigh bones is pointing straight forward too. So don't let your knee collapse in. Holding your hands into your hips, leaning yourself forward. Make one straight line from your head to your heel, just like we did in plank pose. And then you can either go to warrior 3 without any support, or you can use that block and hold both hands into the block. Look into your standing leg, make it slightly bent and turning the thigh bone out. As you make your head and your heel on the same height as your hips. So one straight line from your head to your heel again. Okay, and then slowly step your right foot back. Move the block closer toward your foot into pyramid pose. Now you can make your feet about 1 meter or something like that apart, so make sure you can stand stably and your hips still facing the front. Inhale, arcing into your spine, and exhale, forward bending. And then one more time, inhale, arcing your spine, and exhale, forward bending. Stay here for the next few breaths. Then slowly come up, and this time let's bend your front knee and put the block in front of you again, standing up, turning yourself to the side. Inhale, bringing your arms out, straightening in both legs like triangle pose. Let's reverse the triangle first by sliding your left hand along your left thighs, and then inhale, arms to the side. This time let's bring your front hand into the block and picking your back leg off the floor into half moon pose. Now still look at the standing leg and make sure that the knee is not collapsing in. Your foot is still pointing straight forward. You have to constantly turn your thigh bone out. Okay, and bring your back leg as high as your hip. And slowly get out of this. Arms out, inhale, and exhale, both hands down to the floor, stepping your front foot back into the plank pose. From here, knees down, and then everything's go down toward the ground. When you inhale, cobra pose, tucking your toes and go all the way up into downward facing dog. Walking your heels on and off the floor. And then inhale, bringing your right leg up. Exhale, stepping your right foot toward your right hand position, back knee down to the floor. Anjali Asana, try to be deeper than the previous time. Inhale, bringing your arms to over your head. And exhale, squeezing your belly in. For one more breath. Then slowly bring your fingertips down to the floor. If you feel like you need the block to support you, you can put the block into the long side down to the ground. Let's bring your back knee off the floor and then the whole back foot off the floor. Pointing the toes like a ballet dancer into a standing split. So now your head should be lower than your hips and your foot should be higher than your hip. Then step the foot down to the ground parallel to the other foot. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale, forward bend. Slowly stand up as you inhale, arms to over your head, and exhale, bring your arms to the side of your body. Take 3 breaths here before we move on and do dancer pose on the other side. Then let's slowly open your eyes and stand on only your right leg as you bring your left leg up. Hide your left arm behind you. If you need support, hold the wall with you. Or keep your right arm over your head, kicking your leg only back and not to the side. Dancer pose. Inhale, popping your chest forward, and exhale, squeezing your belly in. And then let's slowly release the leg, stepping back a long step into high lunge pose. Keep your front leg pointing straight forward as you move into warrior 3. So hands holding at your hips, leaning yourself forward, picking your back leg off the floor into warrior 3 as you inhale here. And then exhale. If you want to, you can hold the block as support, but try not to be too dependent with the block. Then let's bring the left foot back and then bring the block back to, or you can hold the floor into pyramid pose. Inhale, arcing your spine, and exhale, forward bending. For one more time, inhale and exhale. Stay here for a few breaths. And then let's bend your front knee again and move the block to the front of you. Stand with both legs straight, turning to the side. Inhale, bringing your arms out. And exhale, reverse the triangle. Now inhale, bringing your arms to the side again. Bring your right hand into the block and slowly pick your left foot off the floor into half moon pose. Look at your standing leg and try to turn the thigh bone out. Don't let your standing leg change shape. Okay, and then slowly go back. Bring your arms out as you bring both hands down to the floor and into plank pose. Knees down, everything else go down to the ground. Inhale into cobra pose, and then exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, left leg up, and then exhale, stepping your left foot forward, bringing your back knee down to the floor. Anjali Asana again as you inhale, reaching your hands back and up. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Always protect your low back by squeezing your belly button in. And then let's bring your hands down to the floor, or you can hold the block with you. We're going to standing split. Bring your back knee up and then the whole back leg off the floor. Your head wants to go lower and your foot wants to go up higher. And then step your foot down parallel to the other foot. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Slowly stand up by being rounded. Arms over your head as you inhale. Then exhale, arms to the side of your body. Close your eyes and stay here for the next few breaths again. And then let's slowly open your eyes. And now we're going to keep the block in front of you. Then suppose standing on your left leg, right hand holding your right leg. You can bend your knee slightly so that you can do the back bend a bit bigger. But try not to flip your body to the side. Keep your hips and your shoulder facing forward. Slowly release your hand, go to high lunge. Fix your front leg, make it pointing straight forward. Holding your hand down into the block and picking your back leg up. Now I want you to arc into your spine so much that your back will be almost like parallel to the ground. Bending your back knee and raising the toes up as if you want to touch your toe to your head. And then you can use one hand, whichever hand, right or left, both are fine. And if maybe you can even use both hands, that's good. Into your foot. Once you're here, kick your leg up really high and hiding both arms behind you. Okay, very good. Slowly get out of this. Open yourself to the side like a triangle pose. Reverse the triangle, giving yourself a big stretch. Inhale, triangle with your arms to the side. And now we're going to do the same kind of variation with your half moon. So bend your front knee slightly, holding into the block. Bringing your back leg up. You can bend the back knee and then hold your hand into the ankle. Look at anything that make yourself balance. Once you got your foot, kick your foot back and moving your chest and your hips forward. Okay, and then slowly get out of this. Bring your foot back down to the floor, both hands down. Stepping your foot back in plank. Everything go down to the floor. Exhale. Inhale into cobra pose. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now let's look forward and start stepping your feet forward into the forward bend position. Inhale into halfway up and exhale, forward bend. This time hold into your big toes and pulling yourself down, bringing your head as low as you can, opening your elbows to the side for about 3 breaths here in a deep standing forward bend. Then slowly get out of this as you inhale, bringing your arms to over your head, and exhale, arm to the side. Keep your eyes closed. Stay for the next few breaths before we move on to do the same back bend variation on the other side. Okay, now let's be on the front of your mat again. Dancer pose, standing on your right leg, holding into your left leg, hiding your left arm behind you and right arm over your head. Kicking your leg back and up. It doesn't matter if you look as big as me or bigger than me. You don't need to look beautiful at all. Just feel how your chest opening forward and your leg kicking back. Release your leg step back. This is a time for you to fix your front leg position. Make sure it's not collapsing in at all. Hold your hands into the block, bringing your back leg off the floor. Warrior 3, arcing into your back. Make it extremely strong. Don't be here. Bending the top knee, and then you can find one hand, whichever hand, okay, or even both hands into the ankle. So hide your arms behind you, squeezing your back, raising the knee up, and then you can slowly get out of this and straightening both of your legs, turning to the side now. Bring your arms out as you inhale and exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, bring your arms out. Hands down toward the block, bringing your back leg off the floor. Half moon. Look at your standing leg, make sure that it's not pointing in. Bend the top knee and then find your left hand into your left ankle. Kicking your leg back. Ooh, this pose is hard. So if you sacrifice your standing leg by pointing your toes in a little bit, for today, it's fine. Whoops. But don't do that next time, okay? Yes, okay, and then let's get out. It's really hard, you know. And go back into plank. Knees down, everything else go down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. When you exhale, downward facing dog. And again, stepping your feet forward toward the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward bend, holding your hands into your your toes, and then pull yourself down, deep forward bend in a standing pose. Relax your head. Okay, and then let's slowly sit down toward the ground. Give yourself some nice massaging into your back by rocking yourself back and forth for a few times. And then you can lay down in the Savasana position and take a break. Cool down in your body and slow down with your breath. And when you stay here, I'm going to get out of this position to finish the class of today. It was a very interesting flow that I've been teaching these days in my yoga classes. I hope you enjoy this. Oh, of course, my real yoga classes will be much more poses and more interesting transition than this one here. But this is enough for you if you want to do 30 minutes yoga per day. I'm going to leave a link of how to sign up for my collection of my best 42 yoga classes, Vinyasa Flow Style or 60 plus minutes, so that you can really level up and do a lot of nice flows and transition into challenging yoga poses. So if you want to improve a lot of strength, skill and flexibility, click into the link, sign up for the course, and I'm going to see you there. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel where I post my free yoga classes once in a while. And I'm going to do some Q&A question and answer about yoga too. If you have any question, post into the comment and I'm going to answer them. If you have a friend that wants to do yoga, send this video to them so that they can start doing yoga. It may not feel like beginners, but trust me, you can do much more than you thought with your body. I'm going to see you then. Goodbye.